Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Live Chat with Viv and Vill. We're so appreciative that you decide to join us this week or this month. We're in the month now of July, and we're trying to keep on task because we said we're trying to at least do every 2 weeks with a recording for you guys. So it's just Vilma and myself this week, and we wanted to welcome you and just talk about the things in life that is taking place right now and to see how we can encourage each other and grow together in the Lord and continue iron sharpens iron every single day, every single month, every single week. Right, Vilma?
That sounds correct. And we love connecting with our audience. And even when we are doing other things and we stop and pause just to say hello. So, hi, everyone. It's good to be back again.
Yes. And where are you now, Vilma?
I thought you wouldn't ask. Well, today, you mean exactly now today? Today I'm in St. Anne in my birth home, Jamaica. A couple of days ago, I was in Negril, I was in Montego Bay, I was in Clarendon, I was in Kingston, and right now we're taking a pause. I'm taking a break. I am actually a little bit tired because I've been going up and down. And it's a wonderful vacation, wonderful, wonderful vacation, and I'm really enjoying myself. But I am tired, but a different kind of tired. How about you? Have you had vacation?
No, I'm not fortunate to be going to Clarendon, Ocho Rios, Montego Bay. I am still here in the US, but thank God for technology, right? That no
Yep.
matter where you are, we can still connect in this world and connect with each other and to give a shout out to our audience and say, hey, we're still here for you. We care about you guys. We pray for you guys and we just want to connect.
Okay.
What is on the agenda to talk about today, Miss Vilma Davis?
Okay, so let me do a shout out for Jamaica.
Okay,
So if
shout out.
you are looking on a place to go to spend your vacation, I want you to consider Jamaica. I know there may be a lot in the news about it, but you come here, it feels very safe, and everything is great. And Jamaica is a fun place. It is a fun place. So I'm selling it. You need somewhere to go, somewhere that's a lot of fun, people who are amazing, food that is fantastic. Check Jamaica out.
And do you have any place to recommend they can stay? Do you have an Airbnb or something you want our people to stay?
No, I don't. I don't use one. I actually use a hotel. Right now I'm bunking with relatives, but the relatives are not here. So I kind of have the house to myself, just my husband and myself.
Awesome.
But I went rafting. So let's talk a little bit about my vacation. I went rafting on the Rio Bueno. This is in Falmouth.
Okay, yes, I'm
Oh,
aware of it. Yes, I'm familiar.
yeah, it was fantastic. It was amazing. And just thinking about the water, when you go and look at the water, it's so nice and cool. You could actually just scoop and drink it. I didn't, but that's how you could because it was so nice and cool. So, rafting, and it was about a mile or so. And then you ended up into um, disembarking into the ocean. So you had to row into Bengal Beach, I think the name of it was. It was great. It was fantastic. And then you stop along the way and you could jump like from the rock down into the waters. Amazing.
How far is that from Ocho Rios?
Oh, that's far. Jamaica?
Yes.
Okay. So
I don't know how far it is. I'm familiar with the area where they do water rafting, but I'm not familiar with the distance because we're going to Jamaica next year for a family reunion.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can add that to the agenda because
Okay, so Ocherius, say you're coming from Montego Bay. So you go Montego Bay, then you reach Falmouth,
right?
then that's where the Rio Bueno is. From Falmouth, you would go to, which is in Trelawney, you would go to Discovery Bay, Runaway Bay, Prairie, St. Anne's Bay, then Ocherius.
Okay, so it's quite the distance then.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I do have my father's side of family is from Falmouth, that area. That's why I'm
Mhm.
familiar with the water rafting area.
Mhm.
But I don't know much about Ocherius and being that that's where we're going, so I just want to know what the distance was.
Yeah, it is some distance. Have you heard of Glistening Waters?
I've heard of Whistling Waters, but I don't know anything about it.
Oh, it's another beauty. Oh man. You have to go out at night. And I'm not a water person, but going out and then when you put your hand, or whoever put their hand, but it wasn't my hand, you can see the glistening, the water just glistening. And Jamaica, Glistening Waters here in Jamaica is one of the 4 areas in the world that the water glistens at that time. And they mention it's because of the bacteria
Mm,
that's in the water.
wow.
But
So is that good or bad?
apparently it's good because people have been swimming in it. They take you out to a distance and then have people jump off and they swim around in it. And it's like they were glowing in the dark.
That's
It was fantastic.
Where is that located?
That is in, I think that was no, that was that Discovery Bay. No, that was beyond Rio Bueno. That was in Falmouth proper. Yeah.
They have a lot to do in Falmouth. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So now you're educating our audience about Jamaica and the things that they can see. And of course, we know about the famous Duns River Falls, and we know
Yes.
about Milk River Bath, and we know about all the other touristy things. But I never heard of the glistening waters, and
Yeah.
we should talk about the water rafting. So what else did you do that's interesting on this little trip of yours?
Well, I am going to go to Milk River, but
Oh, okay.
they talk about the healing properties, so I'm going to be going. And, for those of you who are saying, oh, she believes in that, I know it's not about the area, it's about the who. It's like the man that was lame. And, when Jesus, the disciples, said, do you want to be healed? And he said that every time they troubled the water and he has no one to put him in,
Right.
So he wasn't thinking that it's not about the water, but it's about the person troubling the water, wrestling the water. So what I heard people come from near and far to Milk River because of the minerals and things in the water. So that's in my parish, that's in Clarendon.
My
Big up,
mother's
big
from
up,
that
big
area
up,
too.
big up Clarendon, big up Clarendon. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so that's good. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't know about those little things. They just know about the big touristy areas of just
Mhm.
Montego Bay and Ocho Rios. And did you know that they're opening up an airport in Ocho Rios?
That's what I heard. That they are opening up an airport. I haven't passed by, I haven't seen anything, but I did hear that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the sad thing I heard that they are not doing the independent song this year. Every year they typically have like what do you call it? Those songs people submit their songs, and then they have a song that they choose for
Mm-hmm.
independence. I heard that this year they're not doing that, which is not very good because it was always fun hearing all the entries of the songs, no matter if they're good or bad. I know growing up when I was younger, they used to have these songs and you hear them, you laugh, you talk about them. and then they choose the winner. I think that was kind of like the festive thing you do around
Oh
Independence.
yeah, yeah,
So for them not to do it this year, I think that's really,
yeah. That is
um,
disappointing.
yeah, disappointing.
I still remember Eric Donaldson years ago. This is the land of my birth.
Yes, that was one of the
Yeah. This is the land of my birth.
things.
This is Jamaica, my Jamaica, the land of my birth.
Good job, Vilma, good job.
I remember that. I remember that. It's
Yeah,
just like yesterday.
yeah, that was one of the winners, and I think one of the female was a Carlene. Is it Carlene Davis? What's the singer, the female singer that
Yeah,
normally?
there is a Carlene Davis,
Yeah, her.
my cousin.
She's your cousin?
No,
Oh, I don't remember who the name of the female artist that
no,
always.
it's Carlene Davis.
It is Carlene Davis. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. You're making me think that I'm having the wrong.
No, I laughed because I said it's my cousin.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I thought you were serious, and that's why I laughed. So yeah, I remember her entries also growing up when I was a little girl. Because for the audience don't know, I left Jamaica when I was 12, and my mother calls me a fake in Jamaica, and so does Vilma. So you know, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah. She needs some introduction. Anyway, so let's get on to some serious business. What's happening back home? What's going on?
Well,
Um,
as you know, President Trump's ex-wife passed away. I don't know if you heard that
oh
on the
yes,
news.
I heard it. I heard it in the news.
There's
She was
fires.
found.
Yes, there's fires going on in Europe right now. I heard um,
Fire?
fires. Yes, fires are
Oh,
going on in
okay.
Europe. What else is going on in the news? I think that's so far the things, and they're still talking about the woman issues. And I think Madam Harris just made a speech. Um, she made a speech over the news. She made a speech and talking about um, the abortion issues recently. So,
Mhm.
so just little things here and there that's in the news that they're talking about, but
And I
nothing.
think they're talking about the trial of the Uvalde shooting. Is that
Yeah,
trial on?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They think they're talking about that too, but I haven't been keeping up on that. But so what's your thoughts in regards to the trial? If you have been keeping up on that?
I haven't heard anything about it, but apparently I haven't heard much about it. Let's put it that way. I kind of saw it um, on the news, but what I thought about is um, this could have been avoided. From what I've been hearing, this definitely could have been avoided, and it's just a shame to know that so many people died because of them not getting their act together quickly enough, and just pulling their legs as a matter of speaking, and so many people died.
And and
Yeah.
and, and the training, they just not recently got training and then not exercising or understanding how to exercise that training they receive. That's
Hmm.
another story. But I guess we just have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how the right way to do it. You never know. But we
Right.
just have to
So
keep on praying for those families, and only God can able to help and able to guide and able to lead, because we can't do it without him.
right. So the big issue about this, this abortion um, thing that's in the news, um, I just want to touch on it a little bit, and I don't know, we haven't spoken about that yet, did we?
No, we haven't.
Okay, so um, just my thoughts on it. And um, as a Christian person, abortion is wrong. It is against what God would require, or what God states in His Word. And there are reasons why people have abortion for health reasons, but using abortion as a kind of birth control is totally off and is totally wrong. However, the jubilee that I see going on or being exercised by so many about this, uh, it's for a different reason than me being, you know, saying it's a good thing that we have that the law was reversed. And I know people probably will not like what I'm going to say. However, whereas the people who are excited about it, they see it as one way. And I see pro-life, I am pro-life, but I'm pro-life from birth to the grave. I'm not pro-life at birth, and then it means nothing again after you are born. I think if we are pro-life, we should be pro-life from birth to the grave. So this is one reason why I cannot jump on the bandwagon with those out there who are rejoicing about, you know, the reversal of Roe versus Wade. And it's a good thing, you know, it's a good thing. I'm not gonna lie about that. But if you are gonna take it literally, and if you are gonna be pro-life, you have to be pro-life from birth to the grave. You get me?
Hmm.
And not just for birth. What happens after the child is born? You know, you let them suffer. You don't care. You shoot them down. You starve them. That is not the quality of life that God wants. He wants us um, to give justice and to be merciful and to love and to take care of each other, you know, and not because of your color, not because of your sexual orientation, but because you are made in his image. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you in regards to pro-life, but I'm always questioning myself. I know a lot of people are rejoicing over this, but I myself are wondering, okay, what is the underneath um, thing that we're not seeing? Like I'm asking myself that question. You know, what is the underlining thing that we're not seeing where this thing is concerned? Because just like how they had equal rights, and they attach that with rights for all mankind, all people, all races, all sexes, everything. What is the underlying thing that we're missing? And that's what I'm find myself asking the question
Mm-hmm,
all the time. I don't know fully the answer to that. And yes, it's good that it's overturned, but what is the agenda that each state is going to attach to it? What's the underlining thing that may cause people to go to the extreme with this? You know what I'm saying? On
mm-hmm,
either side. And that's what I find myself questioning. And I do agree with you that yeah, if you're pro-life, you need to be pro-life from birth to death. So you can't say you will fight this hard for the baby, but you won't fight for another race. You won't love another race. You know, you won't care for another race, but you're pro-life. So how can you be pro-life when you don't care about another person being brutalized, another person being beaten to death, another
mm-hmm,
person being ostracized, or whatever it may be? Um,
mm-hmm,
that's all a part of pro-life, and I totally agree with you where that is concerned.
mm-hmm,
Um, the Bible talked about, you know, loving your neighbor as yourself. And a lot of time we find ourselves that we don't love each other. We don't care about each other. And we don't
mm-hmm,
show it either in our actions, in the words that we say and how we carry ourselves. And I find a lot of times that we see a lot of people who want to be judge and a witness at the same time. You can't be a judge and a witness at the same time.
mm-hmm,
In no law can you able to exercise that.
mm-hmm,
So we have to figure out where we stand, what we stand on, and how we're going to carry that out, and how
mm-hmm,
what does that really look like to other people, you know? And I was just telling someone that recently also. I say it's funny when Jesus was walking on the earth, the people he chastised the most was the church because of their hypocritical actions. And people like the people detested, like the tax collectors. He said, "Hey, let's go to your house and have tea." He didn't even wait for them to give him an invitation. He went hanging out with them. And what they say, he's socializing with sinners and and all sorts of different people. But in certain people's eyes, that's the most detestable group or to be around. But Jesus socialized with those people. He showed them love. He showed them care. And even the woman at the well, he, people didn't even want to be around her or associate with her. But he was around her. And look what she did. She's one of the biggest evangelists of all time in the Bible because she revolutionized the entire area after she realized who she was. He gave her a form of identity and he gave her a sense of purpose. And she did more than anybody else could do in that arena. So we have to look at the full picture, not just what we think is what we thinking that's the right, but why is it the right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So what we should be thinking, and what I'm thinking about, having a law in place does not create salvation. So I may not do it because I don't want to be caught. I don't want to be punished by the law, but I'm still a sinner. I'm still needing salvation and I'm still needing Christ. So I really do believe that, a part of that we need, if we focus on people being born again and receiving salvation, then we won't have to be coming up with all these laws. You remember back in the days, in the Bible days, where God gave Moses 10 commandments, 10, 10. And it ended up, they had what, 690, because they had to keep making law after law after law after law. And that is what is going to happen. So the minute Jesus Christ came to earth, died, and he said he fulfilled the law because there is no way that we could keep the law. But because of what Jesus did and because of our salvation, then we don't want to do what is wrong because of our love for him. And that is what we want to get people to love Jesus, to give their lives to him, so that we won't have to be worried that they are going to have an abortion or they are going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm not even going to go into the nitty-gritty of, abortion, because both sides are going to take it to the extreme. Both sides are going to come up with the out of the, way of, oh, what if so and so. There are those what ifs. My thing is, I believe that if you are so concerned about babies being killed through abortion, you should show the same concern, the same vigor, the same yearning, the same going after your cause when they are born. You cannot just leave them. So as long as you see them born, then they can die. No, that is so wrong. And this is my thing that I cannot agree. I cannot jump on the bandwagon. And just for my audience, to just remind you, we are, I don't believe in abortion. I am pro-life, but I'm pro-life from in the womb to the tomb. Yeah.
Like that, in the womb to the tomb. Yeah. And you're right too with the love that you know if they understand the love that Christ had for them, if they understand how much the penalty he had paid for them, and if they understand to the extent of the power that he has, and he gave that up for us to come and pay the penalty for us to be reconnected to the Father. if we fully understand that extent, then you just fall on your knees and say, my God, I don't deserve it. I am unworthy. So it's not giving you a license to sin, it's giving you a license to love, to say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, because I have this and I understand this, I want to give it away to everyone else. I want to
Mm-hmm.
share it. And when you share it and I share it, then we get other people to start sharing it and become a domino effect. And then
Mm-hmm.
we won't have the issues of fighting against baby being, aborted or whatever it may be, because people just want to able to show the love and able to walk in the will of God for their lives and accomplish the purposes that God has created them for. And I totally agree with you with that, and that's what we have to look at, because law, I agree with you, law cannot change people's hearts. It
Nope.
cannot change people's hearts. Um, and it's not politicians that can save people, and they can't change people either. For full effect, they can't change people. So we can't depend on our political leaders to change or to revolutionize the kingdom of God or revolutionize this land. We have to depend upon people of God showing the characteristics of the Father and having that happen. Totally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Yeah. So there are my thoughts on this. And we'll see what is next to come.
Yes, and that's definitely we have to keep our eyes open and watchfully prayerfully watching,
Yeah. Yeah.
for what's to come, because there's things happening in the spiritual realm that we're not seeing and we don't know. We don't know what's actually going. But I do believe, I don't know if I said this on our podcast, I do believe that this year we need to be in tune with prayer and to be steadfast on the things that God has called us to do, that we must accomplish those things. We must be um, purposeful about accomplish those things that He laid upon our hearts to do. Because too long we're waiting, and the world are making things and doing things that they see, but also the church need to be moving and being in tune with the Spirit of God to be ready for what is going to be outpoured. And we have to be ready. The last 2 years just shows a lot of stuff that's going out there and
Mhm.
things that was underneath the blanket. You know,
There was a lot of shaking.
there's a lot of shaking, especially in the church. And I
Mhm.
hear a minister said, I think, or maybe it was Bill who came on and said that the church been wearing a mask for years. We just never realized we were wearing a mask all this time. So wearing a mask on your face, literally, it's the same that we've been hiding all the time, because you can have a fight with your husband or your wife before you come to church, and as soon as somebody sees it, oh, it is well with my soul, or whatever religious quote unquote we have to say. But we just been wearing this mask, and it's time for us to take the mask off. It's time for us to get involved in the things of God. It's time for us to get involved in revolutionizing this kingdom. But through politics is not the way to do it.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I was listening to my daughter's pastor, and he was talking about Republicans and Democrats and the two commandments, um, that Republicans know, the one, love the Lord with all thy heart, thy soul, thy mind. Um, they know that first part very well. They adhere to it, and they fall short of the second one. The Democrats, they know the second one very well, about loving people, and they fall short of the first one. So if we could get us together, to do this right, because we so emphasize on loving others, and we forget about loving God. And then you have one who perfect the art of loving God and forget about loving others. And when I heard that, I was like, well said, well said.
That's a good picture image of what they stand for. in some sense, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that's our take on that. If for those, if you see me, I'm drinking, and I have my yellow cup here,
That's your
um,
yellow dress.
uh, matching my dress, but I am thirsty. It is. I have to put a plug in there for the sun. It is hot. The sun is doing its job.
But the thing is though,
It
Jamaica
is
has a
hot.
cool breeze. You can sit under a tree and you feel the breeze. In
Where I
America,
am,
it's so humid that we are like, oh, you
I have no tree that I can sit out while I'm doing this.
tree. Oh.
I'm inside and it is hot.
Well, you need to find a tree and sit under the tree with a coconut
Mhm.
water jelly, and you will be fine. And
Okay. So what you feel, so we are on the second half of the year,
yes,
the second half of the year. And you mentioned briefly, you think that we're going to need to pray more in the second half of the year. Was that what I'm getting?
yes, yes.
I'm receiving? Yeah. And I also believe that we need to trust more. We need to pray and we need to trust more, because things are never going to go back to what it is, because that's not what he wants. He doesn't want things going back to as usual. He's shaking things. He has shaken things up, but I also think that oh, there's a cool breeze. Oh,
See, I told
this
you.
feels really, really good. Yeah, but we also need to trust that God knows what He is doing. And for some things, I just feel that He's our faith is gonna be tested in such a way that it's gonna be more like a last minute come through. Is you're gonna wait, it's gonna, our breakthrough is gonna be at the very last minute, so we have to fully trust that God is able to, to deliver us, and the things that we may be going through. But I think in order to develop and to increase our faith, God is not going to probably do things right away in an instant, but He's going to take us almost to the brink, and see what we're going to do, you know and then He just, here I am, I'm God, kind of a thing. But I do know that my faith is growing. My prayer life has grown and is continuing to grow. So I do believe that in addition to praying, my level of faith and trust has to be,
Fine.
get deeper. Yeah,
Mhm.
in
Yeah,
in
that
things.
is important. That's a key. And we have to make every step be a Holy Spirit led step, um, guided step in every area we take. Yeah, definitely. So, is there anything else you want to add or say?
No, no, no.
When you coming back?
I'm coming back on Saturday. I'm coming back on Saturday. Yes.
And then I will be heading to New York. I'm going to New York, as a matter of fact, for a family event. But we realize that our kids have not been to New York City, and we're from New York. So, the kids haven't been to Statue of Liberty, Times Square, all that. They've never been to Manhattan. So we're like, hey, since we have to go up for a family, my uncle's getting married, and it's a weekend extravaganza. So, so we just decided to take like a mini vacation and take our kids to New York and see all the sites that they don't know about and they never experienced before. So since we were there for a weekend, we are going to make it a week and just have them.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so that's my little mini vacation for this year that we're going on, along with the other vacation that we took
The
to
big
New
one
York.
that you took before.
Yes. So to answer your question, because I never answered your question earlier when you asked me. But anyway, so for those who are in the heat, in the sun, and feeling that you are overwhelmed, we know that you can try to get some of the cool breeze from Vilma, where she is talking about the cool breeze. But remember that with God, all things are possible. Remember with God that He should be our dependency and not anyone or anything. But we just want to take this time to encourage you to have hope and to remember that we're doing life together. This is Life Chat with Viv and Vill.
Bye, everybody.